I thought it was time for an update on my radio station as it is in 2025. I don't know if you can see this, but this is an alcove in a bedroom. It's in the spare room, and there's cupboards underneath. And what I decided to do was to get a garage shelving unit, make it up half height, but with all the shelves in it, and that gives me room for all my equipment. So I'll give you a quick tour of what there is in the rack at the moment. If we start at the top, I'll just turn the radio down. If we start at the top, I've got 12 volt distribution box by MFJ, obviously no longer made. On the left hand side, it's the high current items, which is the HF transceiver and the VHF UHF, and on this side it's accessories. So if I switch off the accessories, you can see the light goes out. My son bought me that sign for my birthday one year, and you can see that there's a light on in this. This actually isn't in use. So this SWR meter is for HF and 2 meters. It's not wired up at the moment, and I don't use it too much now because it has a 20 watt minimum. It's 20 watt deflection in small scale, and I do quite a lot of low power operation. So I replaced it with this, which I got for £30 second hand. It's Welts one RS branded, and it was calibrated when it was new, but I mean it's not a bad meter. HF 2 meters, and minimum power is 2 watts on that, so it's quite useful. Here I've got a speaker. This is the extension speaker for the VHF UHF radio, because it doesn't have a very good speaker in it, so I've got this one in here. I also have a dummy load. I'll show you what's on the top shelf here. Dummy load. I have got a box there full of volts, odds and ends, HF receiver, base station microphone that I don't use very often, and I've got the antenna analyzer. So if we go down to the shelf below, I'll start at this end. This is a TYT dual band transceiver. It's DMR and FM, and I have this running OpenGD 77 firmware, which is much better for amateur radio use. I also have a handheld that runs this, and it's the same code plug. I just have to program it in. And to aid with that, somewhere, I don't think I can quite see it, but I've got a permanently fitted USB lead in this so that I can just plug in and update it. I bought this from China, and it's got GPS in it as well. £129 delivered in a sale compared to £299 here, so extremely difficult to beat that. And how I've got it programmed up, I've got different zones. The zones are basically like banks of channels. So I've got all the digital repeaters, all the analog VHF, UHF channels, PMR 446 for monitoring. I've got marine VHF in here because I live near a port. And as you go through the channels, that's the frequency channels, and then you can scroll up and down through talk groups on each channel, or you can manually dial them from the microphone, so it's very good. Here we have got a digital clock, obviously, very useful. Mat tuner doesn't work with the radio, long story there. Yaesu updated their remote control protocols, and this is basically lying here dead at the moment until I can resolve that somehow. Got a speaker here. This was £10. It's a centre speaker from a surround sound system for television. It's designed to enhance speech, spoken word. So I have that running on the HF transceiver, which I'll show you in a minute. This is a 40 amp power supply from Nevada, which I bought in a sale, which was £99 at the time. I fixed the fan. The fans on these are basically very noisy. They come on when it hits 50 degrees and it sounds like a jet engine. So what I did was I fitted a 220 ohm 5 watt resistor across the thermocouple switch, and it runs slow fan the whole time, and very occasionally it'll take off if you're running 100 watts for a long time. So it keeps the whole thing nice and cool and quiet. Linear power supply, very useful. FT710, which is currently on 17 meters. Not much on there. Bit of interference. Does not like this location. Not sure what that is. Got the keypad for it there, which I would recommend if you're going to use the internal memory keyer. Got paddle key there, Kent one, and then down the bottom you've got straight key in there, which is actually usable in that position. Now this is an AESS type radio, so it's designed so that some of the sound comes out of the top speaker and some of it comes out of the extension speaker. But because this speaker is designed for enhancing speech, I find it actually very useful. The two work very well together. Set of headphones. Of course, HF radio microphone is under there. And that is about it, really. That's all I can say about my station at the moment. Not much on at the moment. Oh. I'm finding that interference a bit strange. Don't normally get that too much of that here. Need to look into that. But that's update from GM4 SVM.